3 more explosions in Dorfstrasse.
Deep in the basement of Altgarten's town hall, she and her colleagues relayed news of explosions and fires.
Fire at 35 Kaiser in Augustastrasse, Herr Bürgermeister.
Just mark them on the map. What's the matter with you people? We've practiced these bomb raid procedures so many times.
Control center. Large explosion end of Florastrasse. The Kaiser building has collapsed. My mother's there visiting her sister.
I'm sure everyone heard the warning, Fräulein Josef, and went to the cellar.
Night fighter pilot Baron Victor von Löwenherz was now 3 miles from Lancaster on a converging course.
Anything, Rudy? It should be on your screen.
The radar screen we had, if you get a line in the tube, the green line, and then when the plane comes in, the bomber, you get a blip.
Got it. 700 meters away. Close it fast. Tell me when you have him visual contact, Burner. Closing 650 meters. Got him! 1 o'clock high. Closing to starboard. 600 meters. Closing.
It happened. If you had the same altitude like the 4-engine plane, you felt the prop wash. You felt, here is a light turbulence from the fellow in front of you. And then I tell you, it's like with a hunter. You feel here is the guy you have to shoot down within the next seconds.
No sign of avoiding tactics. Katza 1 to Ehrman. I have visual sighting. Dropping beneath him. Message understood, Katza 1.
Löwenherz couldn't stop thinking of his friend and fellow officer Christian Himmel, now presumably in the hands of the Gestapo. The photographs in the official Luftwaffe medical file, freezing experiments on human beings, which Christian had stolen and shown him, wouldn't leave him either.
The light switch is on the left, at the bottom of the steps, gentlemen. Miss?
Yes, I've got it. Hold my hand, Hansel.
Anna Luisa couldn't understand why Herr Voss had seemed so reluctant to let them use his cellar. Perhaps she thought he was waiting for the 2 SS men to leave.
You and the boy have the sofa, miss. Shall I fetch him a blanket? He should be asleep.
I'm not tired, Herr Boss.
Where are you going, boss?
Back upstairs to fetch a blanket for the boy, Sturmbannführer.
Stay here.
What? Oh, no problem. I won't be long.
Didn't you hear me? I said, stay here. Nice collection of objets d'art. Now, we've got to 15,000, I believe, for the carpet and the silver.
Yes.
Don't worry, you're getting a bargain, boss. Give me the cash, and the corporal and I will be on our way.
There's an air raid going on.
Here's the safe.
Couldn't we wait until...
Open it!
I can't.
What?
I can't open it. I need the combination. Old men's memories aren't good. It's written in my appointment book. Upstairs.
Get it.
Yes.
"25 miles from Altgarten, Löwenherz is moving closer behind and underneath the Lancaster.
Safety catches off.
The 3 20mm Ehrlichen cannons fitted in the nose of the Junkers 88 are cocked and ready.
Burner, speed please. 300. It's slow for Lancaster. 290. Easing back.
Löwenherz inches under the huge aircraft.
What you saw was a silhouette. You saw the 1, 2, 3, 4 engines. You saw also 8 blue flames, if you're close enough.
The 2 are flying in close formation.
270.
With the Lancaster 100 feet above him, Löwenherz can see every detail of the aircraft.
Sometimes we could read the squadron letters. Sometimes it was possible to see all the people in the bomber.
What's all that, Mark?
Flak from Venlo.
Did we tell you what he said to the wing commander, Skip?
Shut it, Betters. Keep your eyes on those dials.
What's this?
Put him straight, good and proper, didn't he?
I just told him what I felt. What the hell was that?
Trying to bump her up a bit. Is this something about crew changes by any chance?
No jumped up, snotty-nosed little pommy's going to move me from your crew, Skip. Cheeky bastard. Well, we're a damn good crew and we'll stick together.
to the pilot if he saw him. He reported, "Ich berühre, I touch." And then if he intended to attack you, "Ich mache Pauke, Pauke."
Capsule 1 to Ermin. Cattle drums. Cattle drums. Loaded Capsule 1.
Löwenherz gets ready to open fire on the Lancaster above him.
In the moment I pulled the stick back, I let him go into the gun sight when shooting.
The fighter shudders as it teeters on the verge of stalling, hanging in the air stationary under the great bomber.
And when I had him in the gun sight, I kept him there. And they are still shooting, and then he must be burned.
As the Lancaster moves forward above them, Löwenherz's thumb hovers over the firing button on the stick.
They burn right away. These tanks between number 1 and 2.
On Lancaster Z for Zebra, Flight Lieutenant Martin Fleming, 21, and his crew on their first mission to Germany were totally unaware of Löwenherz's Junkers 88 until the first of 30 cannon shells entered through the forward hatch, missing the bomb aimer lying on it by an inch and exploding on contact with the forward gun turret. Löwenherz pulls back the stick and rakes his cannon fire down the wing, root and tail of the Lancaster. One shell severs the throttle and rudder controls and bursts the glycol bottle. The whole of the cabin fills in a second with choking white mist. The bomb aimer is dead, and Fleming is mortally wounded. Another shell comes through the bomb bay and explodes under the navigator's position. In that peculiar way of explosions, it sucks the shattered, unrecognizable pieces of the navigator downwards, while blowing out the astrodome and catapulting the wireless operator sitting under it out into the night unharmed. Charlie Carter hasn't got a scratch on him, or a parachute.
I told Dad what you wrote about the dangers being exaggerated, Charlie. We all miss him and are looking forward to March the 1st.
Wireless operator Charlie Carter, 19 years of age, had been nervous all day. He was due home on leave soon to marry his fiancée, Lucy.
We've been seeing a lot of Lucy, and last night I got a look at the wedding dress.
Oh, God.
As Charlie falls, the cloud clears and he sees red and green lights all around him.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
It's really beautiful, Charlie. Lucy's mum is so handy with a needle. Let's hope Lucy takes after her.
I told you, always wear your parachute. I mean, always.
Thought I'd have time to grab it, Flight.
You two are going to be so happy together. I just know it. All love, Mum.
It is now 11 seconds since Löwenherz flicked off the safety catch. The next 3 shells fracture the metal formers where the rear fuselage is bolted on, effectively breaking the aircraft's back. The whole rear section buckles violently. It will fall away in 53 seconds. The mid-upper gunner is killed by shrapnel from the 5th explosion. The rear gunner, unharmed, clings to his weapons as he seesaws abruptly in the rear turret, his head hitting the perspex. It is almost a blessing when he dies. Decapitated by shrapnel from shell 30.
This fellow was burning. And then I moved away, right away, about 500 meters on the right side, and I watched him.
O-Orange is a quarter of a mile away.
Mid up with the pilot. Lancaster in trouble. Off starboard.
Thanks, Benchy. We see him. It's Fleming.
Why don't they get out?
Löwenherz fired 180 shells in 7 seconds. 20 would have made the aircraft unflyable, but 30 have ripped through her. Pilot Officer Fleming is the last person left alive on Z Zebra. His legs have been blown off at the knees, but he feels only terror.
I'm sorry! I'm so sorry, chaps! I can't hold it! Sorry, chaps! Bad show! I can't hold it!
He is still pulling on the useless control wheel, the cables long since blown away, when the aircraft plows into the ground. It is only 4 minutes after the first shell hit them. To Pilot Officer Fleming, it has seemed like 4 years.
All of a sudden, a voice screams out, "Skipper, we've been hit, we've had it, we're going down." Everybody on the crew at that particular moment thought it was our crew. But the intercom had got tangled, it was another crew. The nightmare was, as they were going down, each one was screaming. We heard them all screaming out, "Mother, mother, mother." Piercing screams. Still stays with me.
As Helmut Voss had hurried up the steps of his cellar some minutes before, Robbie Anderson's Sterling was overhead, the first of over 100 carrying only incendiaries.
Bombs away, Skip!
And 3,000 magnesium sticks fall on Altgarten.
Plock, plock. This was the sound of the stick fire bombs. We know nothing about the phosphor canisters. The official know something about it, but did not talk about it.
They penetrate roofs and burn anything or anyone that comes into contact with them. As Over Orange flies towards Altgarten following the rest of the stream, Sam Lambert's face and oxygen mask are lit by bursts of flak and light from the fires below. Digby, lying on his stomach over the forward hatch, looks for the dark shape which represents the lake to the north of Crefeld.
For the Wing Coast EFC.
Pilot to bomb aimer, how are we doing, Digby?
I can see the markers. We're on the right track.
It was, you know, it was like a hobs of hell, if you like. No, it was awesome and frightening because, you know, you thought, God, what on earth's going down there?
Looks like shit and derision down there, Skip.
Christ. I see it.
Of course you think of the people under the bombs. How couldn't you?
Germany's full of medieval towns with narrow streets. Their houses are built really close together.
No, this is really very good, dear.
Yes, it is, Mummy.
We go up like tinder. You should see the bombing pictures.
That school in Catford last month didn't look too good either after the Hun was over. Neither did Coventry.
Well, they sowed the wind, now they'll reap the whirlwind, eh?
What exactly are you saying, Sam? Now, you're not saying we shouldn't bomb the Germans at all.
Maybe there should be an international ban on all area bombing.
Do you think Hitler could be trusted to keep to that?
It's not just factories, that's what I'm saying. We're killing German civilians too.
Killing Germans is the whole idea, I'd have thought. We're at war, Sam. More wine, Ruth.
Oh, thank you.
A war, by the way, we didn't start. That Hitler started. Thank you. Well, we'll finish it.
I'm not sure what we're doing will.
Maybe Churchill and Harris know better.
I doubt it.
Daddy might be right. If we bomb their cities and towns enough, the German people will turn against Hitler and his mob.
It doesn't work like that, Ruth. Remember Londoners during the Blitz? Everyone got behind Churchill in the war effort, even pacifists. The Germans will do the same. Every bomb we drop on civilians simply strengthens Hitler's position.
I jolly well hope you don't talk like this in front of your chaps.
Maybe I should. Perhaps some of them feel the same as me.
I rather doubt it.
So what do you want me to do, father-in-law? Not think about it? Have no feelings? Just be a killing machine?
During the Great War, a man could get shot for the attitude you've displayed tonight. Excuse me.
Then the bombs came. When I was a child, I laughed. There was a thunderstorm, and it remembered me to a thunderstorm when we had to go to the cellar. And this we had boom, boom. The whistling is, I remember.
Helmut Voss was moving as briskly as his arthritis permitted, heading for his brother's house in Lieberfleischstrasse. A huge pile of smouldering rubble lies where the Kaiser building apartments once stood.
Please! Paul, help me! My wife's trapped in the cellar! Help me lift this up!
Foss never looked up to see the old man scrambling over the rubble. Who could be alive under that lot? His wife was obviously dead. What was the point, Foss thought? It was to be his last.
These air mines, they were the most dangerous things which came down. The most noisy things, and they made it's like it was such a terrible bump that everything was trembling.
In the Bürgermeister's control center, explosions were marked by red flags and fires by yellow flags on the large-scale street map. Fräulein Josef began to worry they would run out of little flags before long.
It's true here, Burgomaster.
What are you talking about?
I can't go, the road's on fire.
Stand up straight when you report to me, young man.
The flames are as high as a house running down the street, sir.
Fräulein Gera, report this to the gasmeister. Go and tell her exactly where the fire is. What?
And there ain't no water. The fireman says no hoses have gone flat.
Frau Bertha, I want to speak to the waterworks manager on the telephone. But keep trying about this.
I told you, I'm dead.
Keep trying.
Yes.
You must get in touch with him.
Is somebody fixing it?
But there are dozens of underground fractures. They fix one, it leaks out somewhere else. What's wrong with your leg?
Bloody incendiary. It's nothing, just careless. It's burned through my trousers.
You should get it fixed.
Everyone down!
Listen, we can't do anything here. And there are still patients up on the 3rd floor of the East Wing. Old people, bedridden. We've got to evacuate them before the fire spreads.
Lead the way.
The main staircase is kaput, but we can use the service stairs.
Shit, that lads.
You should get it looked at.
Yes, when the fire's out.
We can get in through the Münchenstrasse entrance if the fire hasn't spread.
You men, come with us!
The unchecked fires were getting out of control, joining together in one conflagration. Oxygen, flammable material, and people would be sucked in to feed the flames. The increasing winds heralded the firestorm. "12 bombers a minute are passing over Altgarten. One is O for orange.
Left. Steady. Steady.
Bomb aimers passed alterations to course in the form of 2 lefts or 1 right.
Right.
The idea being that in the noise and confusion this would be clearer.
Steady.
In the nose of the aircraft, Digby has his hand on the bomb release switch. His eyes on the flames and lights below.
Left.
He aims at the center of the burning mass.
I wouldn't aim for the biggest fire. I'd aim for my perception of what the target was.
Right.
And if they coincided, good show.
Left.
Bomb doors open, master switch on, bombs fused and selected.
Steady. Right. Left. Steady. Up here, Skip. Target's coming up too soon.
It's the right place, looks like an inferno.
Been up a Skip. Flak getting closer.
Come on, Digby.
Left.
Just drop the bastard things.
Steady. Left.
Drop them.
Binty, you Skip. Did we just bump into something?
Get off the effing intercom, Binty.
Steady.
Flash your Skip. Bloody Sterling right below us. Shit. Diggers, hold a second.
Once I did have a photograph of of a lovely Halifax below me, and the bombing bloke went mad. I said, well, gee, I couldn't see it. There was so much going on. I was concentrating, but there it was.
200 yards to the east of O Orange and flying at 18,000 feet was S for sugar. Flight Lieutenant Suite bomb aimer Tim Speak is in the nose with his eye to the bomb site.
Left. Steady.
No, this isn't the place. Pilot the bomb aimer. What the blazes is you up to? I don't want a bomb here. Let's get right to the centre.
We're at dead centre target, sir.
I want them further in.
flak to starboard, skipper.
I know, Murphy, I'm not blind. Do you see where I mean, Speak? It'll be under us any moment.
Very good, sir. Just tell me. Ah!
What the hell's wrong?
Sorry, sir.
Take it easy.
It was coming right at me.
Get a grip of yourself, Speak, and stop calling me sir. I'm not a blasted bank manager. Skip or skipper. Now, can you see the centre?
Yes, I can still make it. Ah!
Flak's getting a bit close.
Open bomb doors.
Not on your Nelly. We bloody overshot it now. Right, Murphy, we're going round again.
Don't do it, Skip.
What?
You're crossing the stream, Skip.
Relax, Murphy. I know what I'm doing.
Bomb's gone.
Sam Lambert feels the aircraft lift up as the bombs drop away.
Close the bomb doors. Let's get
Morning, Skip. Pyro flash hasn't gone.
What? Say again.
The sodding pyro flash has hung up. Try the switch again, Sonny.
What's up with the photo flash, Digby?
It won't budge. Try waggling the wheels.
Hang on. Jimmy, you're nearest. Take a deco. Holding her steady.
Jimmy here, Skip. I can see the photo flash bomb and it's not budging.
Here goes. Trying to shake it out. Smarter, and then let's try to take a picture.
Not budging, Skip. It's stuck.
Blooming heck. That was close. Can't stay up here forever.
It's jammed solid.
The Würzburg radar operator at Turnhofen had S for sugar as his target. And when they came round again, the operator couldn't believe his luck. A night fighter from Krunsvik, codenamed Cats 3, was guided onto her and was now closing in. The pilot of the Junkers 88, 19-year-old Hermann Gramlich, was an expert. His radar operator had S for sugar half a mile ahead as Sweet brought her round for his second bombing run.
Pilot upon aimer.
Sir, Skip.
You're clear where I want you to drop them?
In the dark bit to the east.
Precisely. Good show, Speak. Make our mark. What? Bomb doors open. Master switch on. Bombs fused and selected.
Skip.
See you make a good job of it. Okay, chum?
At St. Antonius's Hospital, fire was now spreading to the main wing.
Have they evacuated the basement, Gert? No point. They're safer in there. Not if this lot comes down on them.
We could hear the sounds of the heavy engines of the incoming bombers, and we heard the flak and the bombs. And in our cellar, looking at each other out of big eyes, without saying a word, we listened for the explosions of the bombs coming closer.
Especially the elderly women prayed very often. That was very interesting in the time of the National Socialist movement, because it was not very popular to pray in public. That was a very impressive situation in the crowded shelter buildings.
Quickly, you men! We haven't got all night!
Climbing towards the third floor is Gert Böll and Johannes Ilfer, the fire chief.
What's that noise? Sounds like singing! The old ones, trapped in their beds watching the bombs drop. There's nothing else they can do. You feel that, Gert? The whole building's moving! Our forefathers built these places to last. It won't collapse. Really? Neither will we while there's work still to do for the fatherland. Don't you listen to our Fuhrer on the wireless?
Of the 4 500-pound bombs from Lambert's aircraft, one demolished the main post office. Among the thousands of letters which will burn there tonight was Gert Böll's letter to August. 2 others landed in the public park, but the last of the 4 went off in the grounds of the hospital. Mercifully, Sam Lambert would never know the devastating effect. The outer wall of the hospital buckled and tumbled into the courtyard, exposing the wards on the 3rd floor. and giving the helpless patients in their beds a vast panoramic view of the town in flames. Immediately after, the metal framework gave way completely, and the third floor tilted down towards the courtyard. Beds began to slide across the highly polished floor towards the inferno. Nurses tried to grab hold of patients and were dragged over the edge with them. Bodies and beds fall 90 feet into the burning courtyard, piling on top of each other. Then the building collapses, showering the writhing, screaming mass of bodies with burning material, bricks, concrete, and metal.
Pilot to navigator, Cohen, can you hear me?
Sam banks steeply and turns O-orange away from the devastation below him.
300 degrees, Skipper. Searchlights up the port beam, Skip.
Compass at 300 degrees.
Rear gunner here, starboard beam. Some poor sod's got hit by a bloody night fighter.
It's like one of our lanes.
The rear gunner on S for Sugar had seen the night fighter just as it opened fire. He was blown apart by the first 20mm shell. The 19.5 grams of hexagen A1 high explosive liquefied his torso, and heat from the incendiary which followed it, burning at 2,500 degrees, incinerated what was left of his corpse.
Closing throttle, revs down, fuel cock off, feathering port inner, extinguisher on. Pilot to rear gunner. What are you playing at, Frank? Why didn't you warn me, you nincompoop? How's she handling, Skip? Ailerons US, radish, loose-ish. Port outer's losing power, must have taken a hit. Come in, rear gunner. Let's hear your lame excuses.
Spiral is up here, Skip, in the rear section. It's all shot to buggery, sir. Frank's... Oh, God, I'm gonna be sick. Bombs gone. Close bomb doors.
Who gave the order to drop those bombs? I didn't say.
Well, I thought I had the order. Sorry, sir.
This op doesn't count now. A jettison is the same as an abort. I'm having you court-martial for this.
I heard the order, sir.
Shall we prepare to bail out, sir? No, sir. We certainly shan't prepare to bail out, sir. Oh, God.
In the cellar, it was over 10 minutes since Herr Voss had left Anna and Hansel with the two SS men.
Come on, this, that, no! Careful, idiots!
Why are you taking Herr Voss's things?
He has no more need of them.
Herr Voss, are you up there? He may be hurt.
He's not coming back, I told you. Now sit down and shut up!
You know the penalty for looting.
I said shut it!
Ow!
Leave Anna alone, you!
Oh, I'm all right, Hansel. The boy's father is an Oberleutnant in the Luftwaffe. He'll learn about this.
Against the wall! Get over there! You two, boy, move! I've wasted enough time!
Please, no.
Well, what do you know? I had the combination all the time. Empty the safe.
Anna. Shh. They'll be gone soon.
S for Sugar was now flying with two engines feathered. And now another one, the starboard outer, was on fire too, and it wasn't responding to the fire extinguisher mounted in the engine. The bomb aimer Speak had bailed out, and the mid-upper gunner and rear gunner were dead. The wireless operator had bailed out too, against Sweet's direct order. Sweet didn't know it, but the oxygen feed to his mask was ruptured. Soon he would be euphorically happy, before losing consciousness.
Order an evacuation, Skipper. The aircraft's had it. Rubbish. Navigator, plot a course for Wallyford.
Billy's dead! You mad bastard!
I'll have them court-martialed. 252s for the lot of them. God. Bail out, Murphy. Go on.
Wings gone! Christ! She's going into a span!
Look at she scrambling along. On the floor. Oh, I know what I'm doing. And we'll all swing together with our bodies between our knees.
Later, Murphy wouldn't remember how he got to the forward hatch as he fought the centrifugal force of the aircraft rolling over and over again.
Come on, damn you! Come on, damn you! No!
Falling through the night sky, Mickey Murphy waited as long as possible before pulling the cord. When he did, the world switched off.
Put your back into it, Corporal! Lift it! What's that corner, man? Damage that I'll have to shot.
Fisher and his corporal were loading their booty into the Kugelwagen outside Herr Voss's house when the bomb from Tommy Carter's Lancaster Joe for King landed. 500 pounds of high explosive blew the bodies of the two men high into the air. If their eyes had still been functional, they would have been able to see Herr Voss himself lying in the gutter 2 streets away, his head caved in by a piece of shrapnel, his life's blood draining along the gutter. As the dust settled, they would also have seen Herr Voss's house, completely demolished.
Bomb door's closed. Let's loose them out and get some speed. Head in, please, navigator.
Okay, skipper.
It would be Tommy Carter's birthday at midnight, his 20th. And his ground crew back at Whalley Fen were arranging a surprise party for him. By now, 227 men, women and children had died at the bombed hospital. Bodies lay piled up outside, some of them bursting into flames from the heat of the fire. There was no water to douse them. Identification was going to be a long and gruesome process.
Carefully does it!
Gert Berl and Johannes Ilfer carry an old man away from the hospital to the first aid station set up around the corner.
Nurse! You see, I told you we'd get you in one piece.
No, the old bastard's dead! After all that, the old sod goes and snuffs it!
Get! Old pal! I can't!
Johannes! Johannes! Hey, you! Come over here! My friend needs help!
Fireman, let's have a look.
Oh, he's got a burn on the leg. Bloody incendiary got him.
Don't move me! I'm all right!
Shut up! Help me cut off his trousers.
No!
Let the nurse have a look at it, you fool! Oh, my God.
It's all right! It's not hurting! Not at all!
Hey, where are you going? Wait.
It's burned right into the bone. He's had it. I'm needed elsewhere.
Get!
Oh, what is it, old mate?
Anna Luisa! Tell her I love her when you see her.
What?
You know, such a sweet face. Promise me.
Look, I'm gonna get you a doctor, old mate. That nurse is talking cock. You lie there. Johannes? Johannes? Oh, Johannes.
Flight Lieutenant Terry Sweet watches the Earth rush up as his aircraft spirals downwards.
It's so damn funny. Ruthie, you should have married me. I've a smashing flat in London. DSO, DFC, lovely red MG. I'm dying a hero.
Flight engineer Nicky Murphy woke a few minutes after Sweet had crashed to find himself unharmed and tangled up in his parachute in a tree. He was afraid to undo his buckle, not knowing in the pitch dark that his feet were only a few inches above the ground. It was more than an hour later that he heard the lorry.
Hey! Hey, you! Help me!
It was carrying fire volunteers and engineers who had just come from the burning hospital at Altgarten.
English bomber flyer? No, not English. Ich bin Islander. Prisoner of war, yeah? Oh, come on, you Jerry bastards.
We get ladder, you wait.
Yeah, that's right. I quite like it up here now.
Let's kill the son of a bitch. Gunter, get the axes.
In the ruins of Herr Voss's house, the rubble had settled. Only the cellar had not caved in, and here a glimmer of life survived. Hansel had fallen asleep, but Anna Luisa was awake. The floor was 2 inches deep in cold water.
The bombing stopped. Thank you, God, for sparing our lives.
22 tons of brick and concrete leant against the other side of the cellar door. It would never open again.
Anna?
Go back to sleep.
I want to go home.
We have to stay here a bit longer.
Will you sing to me, Anna? Mummy used to sing me to sleep.
Of course. Come here. La 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 la.
The water was still rising.
Pilot to all crew. I'm going to drop her down, put on a bit of speed.
Mid-upper, yeah? Suits me, Skip. I want to be in bed before midnight and asleep by 1.
If only you had sleep with one eye open, Binty. It's one of these nights for husband to walk in with one of those bloody big gherkin
Either an effing good pair of boots to walk home from Ran bloody Goon, boy,
All right, you two, that's enough.
Night fighter pilot Baron Victor von Löwenherz had had a successful night. 2 Lancasters shot down, and now another one being lined up.
Any sign of him on your screen, Rudy?
No, sir.
Katza 1 to Ermin, no radar fix. Confirm heading.
Ermin to Katza 1, you are closing with him. He's lost altitude. Steer 30 degrees roll from 3 to 900 meters.
Katza 1, understood. He's hiding in the cloud, Rudy.
Questioned later that week, Unteroffizier Rudi Müller, radar operator on Löwenherz's Junkers 88, would insist that his captain had been as usual that night, that he had never mentioned anything about Unteroffizier Himmel or any secret documents, and Rudi would be telling the truth.
Got him. A kilometre away. Steer right 20 degrees. We're overtaking him. Good work, Rudy. 900 metres into...
We can see the flames of the motors and the black monstrum. And it was very good to see against the light heaven.
500 metres. 450. I have him. Ermin from Katza 1. In contact. In contact.
O for Orange was now centered in Löwenherz's sights. Rear gunner Flash Gordon had seen him against the glow of Altgarten.
Are you sure he's seen us, Flash?
Oh, yes, Skipper, he's dropping down.
Bastard's trying to come underneath us.
Oh, God! He's firing! Corkscrew, port, go!
Lambert didn't corkscrew this time. He kicked the rudder bar hard to the left and pulled both starboard throttles fully back, killing their fuel supply. O Orange twisted abruptly to the right and jerked almost to a standstill. Löwenherz was going too fast to react and skimmed over the top of the Lancaster with 6 feet separated.
Airspeed's 120 and falling!
Give the starboard throttles again. Pilot to rear gunner, you still there?
It didn't half bend here, Skip!
It's coming up! 125, 130, 135. Good old creaking door. Never felt off its hinge.
Up here, crossing the Mars, Skip. Crikey, this H2S thing works.
Thanks, Toes.
We've lost him, Skipper. He's disappeared. Gone off with his tail between his legs.
Mid up here, Skip. Continue to leave me up here. I got a touch of cramp.
I'll go with you, Jimmy.
Land of a change of scenery.
Like most wireless operators, Jimmy Grimm was a trained air gunner.
Keep an eye out, Jimmy.
Well, lads, any doubts about my rear view now?
We didn't have come to a standstill. Well done, Skip. I bet that cherry's round over that what's happened, eh, Skip?
And these boys were in a very big disadvantage. They were tired for 5 hours, but I had only endurance of 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and I knew that is now the time where you look around. I was fresh, I was ready for action. These fellows were tired, of course.
A few less odds than I've been my guess.
The 10.5 centimeter shell was radar guided from a flak battery at Nijmegen. The explosion was 30 feet below them. The blast punched a hole in the side of O Orange 5 feet across. Pieces of shrapnel ripped into Jimmy Grimm, pulverizing his lower half. Hands still twitching on the machine guns, he was killed instantly, and his entrails and his legs were now just a mess across the aircraft floor. Other smaller pieces of shrapnel peppered the fuselage and bomb bay. One hit Sam. He slumped forward over the control wheel. A large shard of steel blew the photo flash bomb into the midships. Cohen, the navigator, caught the full force of 1,000,000 candle power in his face.
Are you hit, Skip?
I'll survive.
You're bleeding!
Leave it. Go back and see what's happened.
But I can't just leave you like
Somebody
this.
back there needs morphine. Get out the sodding box, Murphy. Move yourself, Murphy. Sounds like Gregson. Oh, God, not again. Oh, no.
Walter Reisman stumbled as he stepped out past the sandbags of the town hall at Altgarten. He had aged suddenly.
We can rebuild. We can rebuild. The lever, Frau Kirk, too. 15th century altar cloth up in flames. The hospitals had it. Have a drink, Walter. Looted schnapps. We live to fight another day, Gerd. My shop is gone. No. There's been a Balder grocer's shop in Altgarten for 70 years until tonight.
Stop belly aching. Terror flyers will never crush our German will. The Reich will last 1,000 years. Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles.
Official figures for that night show that 290 bombers had attacked Altgarten in the 27 minutes from 8:30 p.m. to 8:57 p.m., around 12 per minute. Each dropped an average of 12,000 pounds of bombs and incendiaries.
Herr Bürgermeister, here you are.
Yes? What is it, Frau Josef?
Urgent message from Wendler.
What is it?
400 more bombers expected in 5 minutes.
What?
Well, read it. All essential personnel to take shelter. 400 bombers! 400 bombers!
The next wave began bombing the burning town of Altgarten at 21:20 hours. The world had gone mad for Walter Reisman and the rest of the townspeople. Of the 705 aircraft sent to bomb Krefeld that night, only 8 ignored the marker flares on the fires in Altgarten and went on to bomb the actual target. Flying over Holland towards the North Sea, Sam Lambert was fighting to keep O-Orange flying straight and level, ignoring the blood running down his face and the screams coming from behind him.
It's now 11:30 p.m.
Of the 16 Lancasters from here at Whalley Fen which took part in the planned 705 bomber raid on Krefeld tonight, February the 18th, 1943, 12 have returned by 11:30.
The terrific relief and elation of walking away from that aircraft after you had been on a flight. That was a lovely sensation. Everybody was talking and nobody was listening.
Looks damaged. Oh, come on, man, get her down.
Can't see the markings.
It's Radcliffe, sir. Q Queenie.
Good show.
Among those who have failed to return are S for Sugar. Pilot Flight Lieutenant Sweet, confirmed shot down over target, 3 parachute scene. Z Zebra, with Flight Lieutenant Fleming and his crew on their first operation, shot down, no parachutes. And O for Orange, Sam Lambert's Lancaster, unaccounted for. Tonight's operation to destroy the industrial center of Krefeld has gone disastrously wrong. These returning airmen are totally unaware that due to a combination of bad luck and stronger than forecast winds, they have bombed and started a firestorm in the market town of Altgarten instead.
Well done, Sergeant. Good to see you back on schedule. In you go, chaps. Go to your chair. Come on, inside now. Inside. Who are you waiting for, Corporal?
Oh, Orange. Any word, sir? Sergeant Lambert's aircraft.
I know you, don't I?
I'm Sam Lambert's wife.
He's what?
We were keeping it a secret, but it's all right, sir. The groupie knows now.
Oh.
Is there any word?
No, but keep your chin up, Corporal. Not too late. Excuse me.
In Altgarten, the last 2 hours had been a nightmare. It was impossible during the 23 minutes of the second wave attack to distinguish between individual explosions. 400 bombers each dropped an average of 12,000 pounds of high-explosive bombs and incendiaries on the center of the town.
To the right and to the left, burning houses and great factory burning, and I heard the firestorm. It was a very intensive noise, like a storm. I will never forget it.
Bomb to bugger it is a no mistake.
Everyone's been saying
Debriefing hut at Whalley Fen. Flight Sergeant Carter and his crew, dirty-faced and red-eyed, light up and sip regulation tots of rum in mugs of hot cocoa.
There were plenty of fires to show away.
And what about the Greens?
Well, seemed to be there. The bombing were very tight, you know, compact.
The old man will be pleased.
The debriefing officer notes it all down.
Place like one big fire by the time we left. We saw his sugar go down. Anyone else not back?
We've lost Zed Zebra 2.
Any word of Sam Lambert?
Not so far.
Mid-upper here, saw him, eh?
Yeah, caught some flak over Holland, just before the Dutch coast.
Were any parachutes?
None that I saw.
I see. Right, well, good work, chaps. You all signed your sortie report?
Yeah.
Off you go, get some sleep.
At Luftwaffe radar station Ermin on the Dutch coast about an hour ago, Unteroffizier Willy Reinecker, senior NCO, brought a wireless message to his commanding officer in the control hut.
It's tonight's target confirmed, sir.
Was I right? Was it Krefeld?
Just look for yourself, sir. Doesn't make sense. They marked it precisely and sent in 2 waves, maximum 4, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. They bombed Altgarten, the bastards.
Altgarten?
A concentrated attack.
But there's nothing there.
It must be a mistake.
What?
By the Tommies. They must have thought it was somewhere else.
Take over the table, will you?
Sir. Yeah, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Please, God, let his kid be alive.
Intelligence officer Leonard Longfellow steps out from the debriefing hut to get a breath of air.
Oh, still here?
Sir?
Look, Mrs. Lambert.
He's been hit, hasn't he?
No one saw them come down, but
Thanks for telling me.
why don't you go and have a cup of tea or something? As soon as there's any news, I'll come and get you.
No. No, I'll wait for him at the cottage. Mr. Longfellow,
Yes?
when he gets back, tell him where I am.
Yes. Yes, of course. Yes, I'll tell him.
A girlfriend of mine, MT, her brother was an actor. He was a pilot. And she would never believe that he was killed. She just always thought he was still alive, but he wasn't. But she never gave up hope.
Cycling the 3 miles from the base to Little Whalley, where she and Sam were renting a small cottage, Ruth Lambert pedals her head down against the wind.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Sam, wherever you are, don't give up hope.
Letting her down to 5,000. Help me with the wheel batters. Skip. Pilot to mid-upper. Come in, Binty.
50 years, Skip.
How's Kosher doing?
He's holding on, Skip.
Good man. What's the fuel situation, batters? Not good.
Well, I need to stop at a petrol station. Anybody got any Sonic coupons?
Can't be much further. We went over Southwold 5 minutes ago. I'm sure it was Southwold. Bloody cold. Yeah.
Oh, God! No!
The rear turret and the tail section are swinging precariously, and rear gunner Flash Gordon, ex-Nottinghamshire miner, has come forward and crouches on the floor amidships with the mid-upper gunner Binty Jones to comfort the badly burnt navigator Cohen.
You're gonna be all right. Bloody rotten luck!
Christ! It'd have been better off going quick like Jimmy!
Shut up, Flash! That kid can still hear. Shush! You're gonna be all right, boy.
Sure you are, Coach. I just meant...
Oh, no!
Give him the sodding morphine!
A cannon shell would blow huge holes through thin aluminium skin. Plus the fact if you're talking about human beings, it would just blow big holes in them, and the blood was just everywhere.
Oberleutnant Baron Victor von Löwenherz was pleased with his night's work. Having shot down 2 British bombers as they approached the target, he refueled, took off and shot down 2 more on the homeward leg. It was only the thought of the troubles awaiting him on the ground which dulled his mood.
Damn me! Werner, I'll take us up out of range. Are you hit, Oberleutnant? Yes! I'm hit! Fire! Port engine! I'll dive her to put the flames out!
Only to Casa 1. Maintain present altitude.
I jumped out 4 times in the night time. So it is always difficult to get out. You never know where you are landing. And I told my radio operator, okay, we are going to jump to bail out now. He knows this. It's a very safe procedure. I've done it already.
Pilot, prepare to bail out. Werner, open the hatch. Yes, Oberleutnant.
I said, I have done it too. I have done it 8 times. And I don't go out.
Mechanism. It's an impact. Shrapnel. Go up from the top. Undo the cockpit cover. I'll bring her level. Good luck, Werner.
Put away the cabin glass, and I went out, laid down on the wing. But in that moment I remembered that I had to break the connection with my earphone and the oxygen mask. And I went again in the plane.
Parachute training! Very well then, Moody. Stay. I'll jump. You can fly her into the sea.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Then again went out and let me down over the wing because I had to go under the tail, not to be cut off my head.
Heading out to sea.
A final joke. You said it, Christian. Shot by your own side. Oh, that hurts.
Crefeld Exchange here. We have a top priority emergency call routed via Luftwaffe signals. Will you accept the call?
Yes, please.
Anna Louisa, is that you?
Yes, August.
Oh.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you all right? I just heard that...
Yes, August, yes, we're both all right. You remembered we'd be here in her voice.
Are you both there?
It's quite unharmed.
Thank God, thank God.
Your voice is so faint.
Are you really all right?
Yes, it stopped. There was a lot of noise, but now all is in order.
Good,
Herr
good.
Oberleutnant.
I meant what I said this afternoon.
Yes.
Kiss Hansel for me. I love you as I've never loved anyone. Come in.
Emergency, sir. Sorry.
Yes, I'm coming, really. That's safe.
19 minutes to 12. The streets in Altgarten are still burning furiously. Water to fight fires is in short supply. Morphine and other drugs have run out. Medical staff tend to people out in the open areas. The hospital has taken 2 direct hits and is now a burning shell. Fires rage through closely packed streets of old wooden houses.
Quiet! Please, quiet, lads! Hello?
Gert Böll, fire volunteer and cousin to August Bach, climbs over the rubble of what had once been Herr Voss the tailor's shop and house.
Hello? Hello?
Can anyone hear me?
Let's go, Gerd.
I thought I heard something.
Be sensible, Gerd. Who could still be alive under that lot?
I promised Hansel Father I'd look after him. Have you no feelings? He's 10 years old. He might be trapped down there.
Well, do what you like. Be careful, Gerd. One slip and you'll have that whole lot down on top of you.
At Wally Fen Operations Room, only O. Orange is now unaccounted for.
He was a damn fine young officer. Why is it always the decent chaps like Sweet and Fleming who cop it, while spibs like Lambert? I'm sorry, Longfellow, it gets me riled.
Well, Lambert got shot up too, Groupie.
You heard Lambert at the briefing tonight, questioning the validity of the raid?
No.
I know LMF when I see it, Longfellow. But I won't stand for it, not in my outfit. Can I have a serious word with Lambert first thing tomorrow?
If he makes it back, sir.
Oh, he'll limp back. His type always do.
In some ways, Gerd thought later, it was the easiest tunnel he had ever made through a bombed building. It was only when he was almost into the cellar that he found his way blocked by a large green metal barrier, 2.5 feet across and cylindrical in shape.
What have we here? Water tank. Too heavy?
Oh, Christ, no!
In a house in Aberdeen, a man is aroused from his bed by an insistent ringing at his doorbell.
Probably Mrs. Mackay's twins on the way.
Hugh MacDonald was used to calls at all hours. He was, after all, the local doctor.
Telegram, Doctor.
Thank you.
You?
War Office.
Oh. Oh, no.
We regret to inform you.
As Dr. MacDonald handed his wife the telegram, in a bombed-out street in Altgarten, his son Ian's last piece of work was about to be put to the test.
Come on, quickly.
Oh, Herr Boll, how can I thank you? I thought...
Look, no time to talk. We must get you out and away from here.
Is our house all right?
I don't want to frighten the boy, but there's an unexploded bomb in the rubble.
How big a bomb?
Big enough. It might be a dud, I don't know. Now, Hansel, listen very carefully. I've made a tunnel up to the surface, but you mustn't touch the sides, understand?
All right, Cousin Dad. I knew you would rescue
Yeah, well, I'll lead the way. You follow close behind.
Yes, Cousin Dad.
Now, come on. If it's delayed action, it could go off any second, so move quickly.
Radar Station Ermin, August Bach's quarters.
This letter came for you, sir.
Thanks, Willie. It's from Paul. Well, come on in, let's have a drink. There's a bottle of schnapps there.
I knew he'd be okay. He's a tip off the old block.
Dear Father... Listen, Willie, doesn't want any more food parcels. What we get on ration is perfectly adequate. What a good little SS officer he's turning out to be, eh?
Your drink, sir.
Thank you. Tell Anna Louisa I'm looking forward... I'm looking forward to getting into her bed again. Everyone here says trust the Luftwaffe to get such a gorgeous little thing for a housekeeper.
Don't read any more, sir.
Dear August, I feel our life together is going to be so blessed.
My son is writing to me about the person I was going to marry, to have as a second mother to my children. I must read it all.
In the cottage in Little Whalley, Ruth Lambert prepares a late supper for Sam.
I know you're going to be hungry, Sam. I better do another potato. Come on, Sam, you can do it. Don't let me down. Anyway, you can't die with that garage business to run and children to bring up. And... Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam, thank God. I knew you weren't dead!
At a height of 2,000 feet, O-Orange is approaching Whalley Fen.
Let's have a few more revs, Batters.
We're running on fumes as it is.
I know, mate.
There's the beacon.
Keep pushing the column, Digby. She'll stall if her nose comes up.
It's really rat enough. Well done, Skip.
I wish we had an RT set to let them know we're coming.
I don't mind arriving as a surprise.
Let's hope the runway's clear. We've only got enough juice for one attempt.
Anna Louisa crawled behind Gert Burl and Hansel as they wormed their way through the debris of Herr Voss's house.
Keep close to me, Hansel. Don't touch the sides. Nearly there.
I do love him, Gert.
Then you'll live happily ever after, won't you?
What was that noise?
Holy Mother. It's the bomb. It's the striker moving. Quickly!
Dr. Hugh MacDonald sits with the telegram in his hands. His wife looks into the rekindled fire. As they stare into the flames, they remember their son. But one thing they will never know. His last job for the Air Force was setting the time fuse on the 4,000-pound bomb in Voss's house. It was a job well done. Official reports produced in the next week recorded Gert Burl, 42, Anna Louisa Schmidt, 19, and Hansel Bach, 10 years, as missing. Altgarten had in any case run out of death certificates, and officials had to use pages torn from children's exercise books to register the names of those whose bodies could be identified.
Pilot to crew. I'm not sure about the state of the landing gear. If anyone wants to bail out, I'll understand.
You were a very close body of 7 men. You're almost like 7 brothers. And everybody, in any situation of emergency, always looked after everybody else.
Get what's left of those flaps into something like landing position, Batters.
Skip.
Soon after the explosion in Florerstrasse, rescue workers found Walter Reismann, Altgarten's Bürgermeister.
Who's there? So many riches, so many presents.
Walter had run away screaming from the town hall soon after the second wave started to bomb his town. His house had taken a direct hit. His family were dead.
I'm having a birthday dinner. Mother, would you like me to sing you something?
Christ, he's got nothing on.
What's
he doing in the rubble?
Looks like he's building something around himself.
Walter Reismann was trying to bury himself in the rubble of his house. He would survive to die in 1961 in an asylum, reliving the bombing every day in his mind.
She's coming in straight as a die. Well done, Skipper. Save the praise till we're on the ground. Too high.
Full flaps.
Flaps are US.
ASI 145, Skip.
Lower the gear, Batters. That should slow her down. Hold her still, Digby.
Wheels won't release. Jammed.
Try emergency air.
Okay, Skip. Just hope the air bottle hasn't copped it.
We'll never know if you don't try it.
2 greens. Gear down and locked, Skip.
Too fast. Speed.
130. 120.
Push the wheel harder. Come on, you old bitch. Get down. Binti, hold tight to go in.
100. 90. Oh, God. Here it goes.
Muscle her right back. Yes. Okay, Batters, get your weight on the column.
You've got it, Skip.
Everybody brace. Come on, you old bitch. Get your arms down. Get down, you... Just one more. Got the bait, Batters, now.
We got all the shoots. Nice to hit the trees.
Smash.
She'll never fly again.
The ambulance is coming.
Oh, God bless you, Mother Earth.
I'm away from the aircraft, Batters.
Where's the Skip? Skip! Skip!
Skip! He might still catch fire!
Come on, Jimmy, old mate. You're gonna be all right.
Skip!
Can't leave Jimmy on his own in here.
But he's dead! Come on, Skip! Let me help
Jimmy
you.
and me, Cabby. Find out, Murphy. No. It's all right, I can manage him on my own.
Christ.
That's it. Done. It's over. I promise you, Jimmy. I'll never fly again. Never again.
On the Luftwaffe side, it had been a successful night. They lost 8 night fighters, but they shot down 31 bombers. Another 13 bombers were lost through flak, collision, and human error. 301 Allied crewmen were lost. Of these, 68 survived to become prisoners of war. The German losses were 10 members of night fighter crews. Rudi, the radar operator, and Werner, the observer on Victor Löwenherz's Junkers 88, survived to be killed within a year flying with other pilots. Victor Löwenherz's friend, Unteroffizier Christian Himmel, had his day in court. Looking pale and thin, he told the facts he had discovered about the horrific medical experiments at Dachau. The military court knew all about them already. However, he didn't face a firing squad. He was sent instead to Brandenburg-Gordon prison, where on June the 1st, 1943, he was guillotined. Sam Lambert said nothing about the events of the night until he and Ruth were in bed. Then, in the dark, with his face turned away from her, he began to weep.
Sam,
Finished with it.
don't think about it now.
God, it's funny. While we were in debriefing the damnedest thing, Longfellow got a phone call from Photographic. They developed the first bombing pictures. They reckon it's not Krefeld.
What?
We bombed the wrong place. They're going to have to go back.
But if it wasn't Krefeld, well...
God knows. We flattened it wherever it was. We bombed the wrong bloody place.
In the days that followed, Sam held to his vow never to fly again. In March 1943, he had his rank withdrawn and was quietly transferred from Whalley Fen to a station where he was assigned cleaning, sanitation, and refuse disposal duties. Ruth had already been posted to Scotland, where it was discovered she was pregnant. She left the WAF, and Sam and she spent the rest of the war near each other. Whalley Fen is now farmland again, but from the air you can still make out the main runway. Some of the buildings still stand, in ruins, or used as outhouses or cowsheds. Sam has never been back.
What you've just heard was Joe Dunlop's adaptation for radio of Len Deighton's novel Bomber, a work of fiction. The author, adapter, and the producers would like to point out there never was a bomber command station called Whalley Fen, nor a Krunsvig Luftwaffe airfield, nor a town called Altgarten, nor a Saturday with the date 18th of February 1943. In Bomber by Len Deighton, narrated by Tom Baker, the crew of Lancaster O Orange were Samuel West as Flight Sergeant Sam Lambert, David Antrobus as Sergeant Ted Battersby, Jonathan Keeble as Sergeant Diggers Digby, Joshua Taub as Sergeant Kosher Cohen, Clive Hill as Sergeant Binty Jones, Ian Peck as Sergeant Flash Gordon, and Terry John as Sergeant Jimmy Grimm. Jack Shepherd played Oberleutnant August Bach. Emma Chambers, WAF Corporal Ruth Lambert. Alice Arnold, Anna Louisa. John Woodvine, Bürgermeister Walter Reisman. And Dominic Rickards, Oberleutnant Baron Victor von Löwenherz. Frank Windsor played Air Marshal Sir Arthur Harris. Michael Troughton, Flight Lieutenant Terry Sweet. And Cyril Jenkins, WAF Corporal Madge Scott. Other parts were played by Deborah Berlin, Scott Cherry, Joe Dunlop, Russell Floyd, Becky Hindley, David Jarvis, Ian Masters, Don McCorkindale, Kristin Millward, Gavin Muir, Richard Pearce, Pasco Sabido, Oliver Senton, Caroline Strong, Eva Stewart, Joe Swash, Michael Tudor Barnes, Derek Waring, and Peter Yapp. The producers gratefully acknowledge the assistance of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, the RAF Museum Hendon, the Bomber Command Association, the Stadtarchiv Krefeld, the Gemeinschaft der Jagdflieger, and the Imperial War Museum in the making of the programme. Personal reminiscences were by Norman Abernethy, Jim Burt Smith, Ken Faithful, Wolfgang Falk, Michael Floyd, Victor Gregory, Sam Hall, Jim Harness, George Hart, Peter Hinchliff, Alfred Huberman, Carl Ludwig Johansson, Paul Kessler, Peter Lloyd, Hamish Mahadi, John Moore, Ron Pollard, Douglas Radcliffe, Eileen Richards, Peter Ridgway, Stan Seville, Peter Spoden, Harry Taylor, Alfred Thomas, Len Thompson, and Lydia Zerler. Sound design and technical presentation was by Roger Daines, Mike Efferden, and Colin Guthrie, and the production assistant was Sally Braben. Bomber was dramatised by Joe Dunlop from the novel by Len Deighton and produced by Jonathan Ruffle. The director was Adrian Bean.